And I mentioned a couple times your relationship with Isabelle Fuhrman, who plays Eleanor in this film. When I talked to Edoardo, he's mentioned that you both knew each other before this, and I think your on-screen chemistry is really a big selling point of this film. How did you do anything to establish that before the film, or was it just like your natural friendship, just kind of moving to a new location?
I honestly don't even know if Eduardo knew that we knew each other. It was kind of worked out like that. I'd be curious to actually know that. I can't remember. But
Well,
we
actually, you can watch my interview with Eduardo where he says he did know that you all knew each
oh,
other. Yeah, there you go.
oh, he already knew. Okay, that's fine.
On
Yeah.
watchyourpast.com. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch Your Pass, and today I'm talking to Stefanie Scott, who plays Mary in The Last Thing Mary Saw. It debuted at Fantasia last year and it's coming to Shudder on January 20th, 2022. We're going to talk to her in just a second, and maybe we can actually find out the last thing she saw. But first, let's check out the trailer, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. It helps me out a lot. Thank you.
Speak freely.
It's Mary. Our daughter's ears are deaf to the Lord's preachings. She continues to engage in acts with the housemaid.
Correction is needed. Mary? Knees and prayers.
Mortify your members which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness,
fear,
affection,
and weakness keep us here. Our fate rests on this.
Destroy the works of the devil.
Such a sinful
and lead us
presence.
not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Perfect. So thanks so much for joining me. This is Stefanie Scott, who plays Mary in The Last Thing Mary Saw. It debuted at Fantasia last year, and it's coming to Shudder on January 20th, 2022. It is an atmospheric horror film. It's not really what I expected. It's just dripping with style, and also this wonderful relationship between Stephanie's character and Isabelle Fuhrman's character. So thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks.
I guess the first question, how did you get involved in this? Were you just like, you know what, I don't like technology and don't like modern conveniences, so I want to go out into the wilderness? Like, how did you find this movie?
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Like, technology is so bad. I don't want to be tracked. I want to make my own bread. Like, this is no, none of this.
Yeah, I just showed up in Long Island and I was like, oh, we just like cameras happen to be there and it's crazy. No, but I really just got involved by Edoardo reaching out and asking if I wanted to do it. And then I met with him on Zoom because he was in New York at the time and I was in LA at the time. And yeah, I don't know, that's kind of really how it worked out. He sent over like a cool mood board and I read the script and I was immediately interested in it. I was a little nervous because I was like, whoa, this is, I don't know. I was excited about it, but I don't know. It was just totally unknown territory, I guess.
It is a serious role that kind of puts a lot on you because there's not there's not a lot of flash in this movie. It is very stylistic. I loved just kind of how authentic it felt, but there's not much except for like your acting and the relationship and the characters that are there. So it does put a lot on you. So I could totally see why you'd be nervous, but I think you and Isabel killed it. So I think your nerves were warranted, but you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
And I bet you're in LA. You probably are such a big star now. There's all paparazzi. You're like, I just want to get away from all this craziness and go out into the wilderness where no one can see me and no one can track me at all. So
yeah, I'll go live off grid somewhere. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of actually sounds really nice to have no Wi-Fi anywhere near me and really just a very peaceful life. Have some chicken.
Think, and if the last few years have been an indication, we might be heading that way. If everything continues,
everything's over. The movie really prepared me for how to pluck chickens and make bread. I'm just joking with you.
Yeah, well, I think pandemic prepared us all for that. And so this movie it was a little more religious, like especially kind of like a more dogmatic movie than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Had you been raised religious? Was this something that you just kind of you're acting, you just kind of picked it up, or was it something that you had, I don't know, personal affiliation with?
I wasn't really this movie is very strict, kind of a scary type of I don't want to say scary type of religion, but it was,
You can say scary type of religion. I'll this is a scary type of religion. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like life or death. And if you kind of like, you're walking on eggshells, and if you do something slightly perceived wrong, you're in huge trouble. So it's kind of always this feeling of like holding your breath, the movie's filled with silence and holding your breath. And so it's very tense. I did not grow up like that at all. I didn't really grow up in a super religious family, but I've always felt very connected to, God and love, and kind of that's my how I feel close to people is through love. And I think that's kind of what religion is supposed to teach is how everything is kind of through love, I guess. But it's funny because this movie it's very, very strict religion, yet they talk about love, but it feels like there's no love in it, but she kind of finds that with Eleanor, this mutual connection, which is sort of really nice.
Yeah, and I love your kind of description of walking on eggshells, because the interesting thing is you and Eleanor are kind of more modern characters in this film, and you're just doing things that I think people can relate to. You're just exploring things that you're not supposed to see. You're exploring your own emotions and feelings, and then, but in the context of this movie, that is, like you said, life or death. It's like this is you can't even think about that in this context. So I think that was a good way to describe this the situation. And I mentioned a couple times your relationship with Isabelle Fuhrman, who plays Eleanor in this film. When I talked to Edoardo, he mentioned that you both knew each other before this, and I think your on-screen chemistry is really a big selling point of this film. How did you do anything to establish that before the film, or was it just like your natural friendship, just kind of moving to a new location?
I honestly don't. I don't even know if Edoardo knew that we knew each other. It was kind of worked out like that. I'd be curious to actually know that. I can't remember. But
actually, you can watch my interview with Edoardo where he says he did know that you all knew each other. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you already knew. Okay, that's fine.
On watchyourpast.com.
We did another movie together. Well, I've known her since we've known each other for a really long time, but kind of just through friends and stuff. And we'd seen each other around. We weren't really super close or anything. We kind of like had, I don't know, we went to like different kind of schools and stuff like that. And then we did a movie together, I think a year prior to this, which was super different than this movie. It's like a stoner comedy called Good Girls Get High. And it's really funny if you happen to see it, like how different the movies are. And then this came about, and obviously I knew Isabelle, and I love her so much because we had so much fun making that other thing. So we had a good relationship and friendship. But when we filmed this, we lived together throughout the filming of it. And then obviously we were together all day filming the movie. And I think we just really bonded when we were together, actually on set here. And so maybe that's the chemistry that came through. It was just like a really good friendship that blossomed over sharing a car and a house while we were filming this movie. And yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's perfect. Like I don't know, forced friendship essentially, or like just the situation causes you all to bond closer, and then it translates on screen.
And I'm so grateful because I wonder if because this movie really pushed us again to be really good friends, and we would have been friends regardless. But like I wonder if we wouldn't have had the opportunity to really like spend so much time together. Like I feel really lucky that we got to be really close throughout this film, and especially over the last few years since then.
Yeah, definitely. And it's great to kind of establish those friendships early, because as you both go through your careers, you will have each other to kind of lean on.
Yeah, for sure.
Another scene I really loved in this film is the bread making scene. Like this, I don't know, watching that bread was kind of mesmerizing, and then seeing it done. Yeah. Did you all get to actually eat that bread? Or was that all movie magic and a prop?
I mean, the bread was real, but I don't think we actually ate it. I didn't eat the bread, at least, because I think at the end of the movie is kind of when people finally eat, if you remember, without giving anything away. And I wasn't allowed to eat at that point because in like deep trouble. So because it was, kind of
you had gone high, metaphorically, I guess. Good girls gone high.
Yeah. A little different, but
And so I saw in your background that you'd previously done a film called Mary, which I assume is a prequel to this movie, The Last Thing Mary Saw. So I'm curious, is there going to be like a third act or?
Oh yeah. Well, I think you're joking, right?
I am 100% joking.
Okay. Yeah. Has nothing to do with this movie, but it is funny. I feel like at the same time, how you do different projects that all kind of have similarities like I don't know, just a certain name. Like I just did 2 movies I did a movie last year called The Girl in the Basement, and literally the next project I did was called The Girl in the Woods. And like it just kind of everything. So I'm like, why? They're completely different, but they just have like almost the same exact name.
Exactly. Well, and sometimes with indie films, you'll have like a short film or like a proof of concept film that's made, and then they'll use that. So I was like I always check like maybe this is, and like nope, this is a very different looking movie.
Yeah. Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Very different.
So I know we have limited time, so I'd like to switch. I call it the lightning round. It's just very lightweight questions about the film. It's tough in some serious films, but I try my best. You can feel free not to answer any of them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay.
What is the worst dinner party that you have been to?
I don't even know if I've been to a bad dinner party.
Oh, charmed life.
Yeah, you just got to make the best of every situation.
Definitely. Does your own family have like a matriarch type person? Like this family clearly had like a head of the household. Does your own family have something like that?
At this point, it's probably my baby niece. Whenever I go over to see my family, everything is about this 2-year-old little girl. She kind of runs the show.
That is perfectly understandable. No, I have a young child as well. Everything kind of revolves around him right now. So
yeah, she's just she's like a total source of entertainment for everybody.
Very different matriarch than the matriarch in this family. Not so much entertainment in the movie.
Yeah, very different.
Back in the days, if you had to escape from your like family or just wanted to get like some alone time, where would you go? Was there a place that you would go to, like, I don't know, sneak out or just kind of get away for a little bit?
Probably just in my own head.
That's a great place. It's always available. That's a great place to be.
It's always available for me.
Also back in the day, did you have like a book or piece of media that you had to like hide from your parents? You didn't want them to know? Like, I don't know. You can take however you want, like maybe like an album that was parental advisor that you weren't supposed to listen to, or some other piece of media that you weren't supposed to look at.
I can't really remember, to be honest. I don't know.
Very, very forgiving, permissible parents. I like it very much.
Yeah, sure.
What is the worst splinter that you have gotten?
Oh, wow.
That was a pretty bad one in this movie. Like that I think that was the one scene where I was like, oh, I don't like this at all.
It was kind of gross, right? It looks so real. Or maybe it was. Worst splinter I've gotten? That's a great question. I guess it can't be that bad if I can't remember. I recently stabbed myself though.
Oh, God.
Cooking.
Okay.
It hurt really bad.
Yeah, and a knife is just a metal splinter, so there we go.
Yeah, maybe that counts.
Do you drink tea?
Yeah, I'm drinking tea right now.
Okay. I hope it's safe. Okay. And in this film, bread was kind of the staple of the meals. What is your, like, do you have like a staple food? Like in my life, it would be probably like rice or pasta, but do you have any sort of staple food?
Yeah, I mean, soup. I make a lot of soup.
That sounds delicious and perfect for the cold weather, although LA, it's
I also make
cold.
sourdough bread, so
Oh,
I have that in common, I guess.
I was going to be my next question. I was going to say, did you take on like the bread making challenge during quarantine? But it sounds like
not during quarantine, but this past year I got really into sourdough. A little
That's
late
awesome.
in the game, but yeah.
That's yeah, I guess. And so you finally got to taste that bread. Did this movie incite a love of bread making for you, or?
Not at all, actually. I didn't even think about it until now, I guess.
Awesome. And the last question is, the movie is The Last Thing Mary Saw. You're Mary. What is the last thing that you saw? It can be a movie, TV show, something interesting, art, however you want to answer.
The last thing I saw. The last movie I saw. Oh my gosh, every time people ask me that, I can't remember. The last thing I watched like on the TV was it's a documentary called Adrian, about Adrian Shelley. She's a writer and director and actress, and it was really, really sad. But yeah, I guess you have to watch it to understand it. But she wrote that movie called Waitress, and her life was taken before the movie came out, and it's a really crazy story, but she is very inspiring, and she really inspired me a lot watching this movie and kind of old tapes of her and stuff. And I don't know, you have to watch it, I guess, to see, but it was really, really good.
I'll put it on my list. It's a nice introspective and interesting movie. It's not, it's something that feels like it informs you and also like gives you perspectives. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was very good, very good.
I also have the same problem though. Like people ask me, what's the best movie you've seen, or what's a good movie you've seen? Like I see so much, like I can't associate anymore.
We're together. I'm like, wait, what was the last thing I watched? And
Exactly.
like I haven't watched a movie in 5 years, but that's actually the last thing I watched on the TV. So I guess that counts.
That's perfect. And so the movie it premiered last year. It's coming to Shudder on January 20, 2022. You're out promoting it. I imagine you're probably also working on other things. What after people see you in The Last Thing Mary Saw, what else can people look forward to coming from you?
I can't really talk about it yet, but so whatever. But maybe we'll talk again when that comes out in like 2 years or whatever, how long it takes.
Hopefully not that long, but I'll look forward to it when it does. And thanks. This is Stefanie Scott, who plays Mary in The Last Thing Mary Saw. You can check it out on Shudder next week. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Awesome. That was Stefanie Scott talking about The Last Thing Mary Saw, which is coming to Shudder on January 20th, 2022. It's an atmospheric horror film that has a lot going on. You should definitely check it out. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. And please check out my other content. I've got other movie reviews, interviews, unboxing videos, and movie recommendations. Thank you.